Hi, I'm Steve Richardson. As a DUI defense attorney here in Southern New Jersey, I met with a lot of people who have gotten a DUI ticket here in New Jersey and have pretty much given up. They figure there's nothing they can do. They're going to be found guilty. They're just going to have to live with the license suspension, higher insurance premiums, and surcharges that come with a DUI conviction. But that's not always the case. There are some defenses here in New Jersey to a drunk driving charge. And if you have been ticketed for this, you should really consult with a defense attorney to see if you can raise one of these defenses, one or more of these defenses, to beat the ticket or at least downgrade it to something that is not as serious as a drunk driving charge. And in my experience, in looking at these cases and in talking to clients, I find that there are 5 main defenses to these cases. There are more than that, and each case is different, but this is sort of a top 5 list of DUI defenses here in New Jersey. The first one is the police have to have probable cause to pull you over. All right. They can't just do it for the heck of it. That's a red car. I like pulling over red cars, so I'm going to pull this one over. That's not the case. They have to have probable cause. Now, probable cause for drunk driving is often an unsafe lane change. They move from one lane to another without signaling, or they don't maintain the lane. They're basically weaving in the road and crossing the lane markers. That's a common probable cause to stop in a drunk driving case, and often a ticket is written for that offense. They could also randomly scan your plate, your license plate electronically, and determine that that your license is suspended for some other reason, that the registration expired, something like that, and pull you over for that reason, and later just think that you're drunk and arrest you for drunk driving. So they have to have probable cause to pull you over. And if they don't have probable cause to pull you over, then you may be able to challenge everything that follows from that stop. The second defense is that they have to prove that you're the one driving. It's called operation. And you have to be the one that's operating the vehicle. Now, a lot of times it's pretty straightforward. You're the only one in the car. They pull you over. You're sitting in the driver's seat. You're the one that was driving. But there have been cases in which the police arrive later. There may have been an accident, and more than one person was in the car. But as a result of the accident, they've all exited the car. By the time the police arrived, nobody saw who was driving, and nobody that was in the car says anything about who was driving. Well, there may well be a defense there that the police can't prove who was driving, even if they smell alcohol on your breath or one of the people that's there by the car. They may suspect that they're drunk or they're acting drunk, but that they can't prove that that person was the one driving the vehicle, then that's a defense. That's a problem. You have to be the one operating the vehicle, and the police have to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt. The third defense is they have to have probable cause to arrest you. The common occurrence here is that the police pull you over. In talking to you, they smell alcohol on your breath. They notice watery, bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, fumbling hand movements, things like that get them suspecting that maybe you're drunk. And they'll ask you to exit the vehicle and perform what's called a field sobriety test. And I've talked about the field sobriety test in other videos, but basically they'll ask you to walk a straight line, stand on one foot, and do what's called a horizontal gaze nystagmus test. Have you shine a light in your face and ask you to follow an object with just your eyes, either their finger or a pen. And if you fail that test, they can have probable cause to arrest you, take you into the station, and put you on a breathalyzer. But they don't always have that probable cause. You may have performed well on the test. I routinely order the videos that are taken either by the patrol car or by the officer himself on a body camera to determine how well you did perform. Seeing is believing. And seeing how you performed on the test, you might have passed, even though the officer said in his report that you failed. So that's the third defense, that they have to have probable cause to arrest you. The fourth defense is a 20-minute observation period. Now, what this means is they get you back to the station and they need to observe you for 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes before they take a breath sample, start the machine and start to take the breath sample. This is because they need to make sure that something doesn't happen that might throw off the machine. The machine is measuring the level of ethanol molecules in the air, breath air, your lung air that you blow into the machine. And there are things you could burp, throw up into your mouth a little bit, or something that you might do or happen during that 20 minutes that might increase unnaturally the amount of ethanol or air in your mouth. So they have to make sure that there's a period of time where it has an opportunity to dissipate, and they must do that. And there have been cases, breathalyzer results that have been thrown out because the officer did not observe you for at least 20 minutes. It might have been less than 20 minutes. He might have left the room during that 20-minute period of time. That's why I routinely ask for security videos for the room in which the breathalyzer is to see what the observation was and whether it really was 20 minutes, whether anybody left the room. So they have to do that 20-minute observation. The fifth defense is that the machine itself, the alcotester, has to be maintained and operated properly. The machine itself has to undergo regular maintenance, and it has to be operated by a trained professional, someone that has taken the classes, had the initial training and subsequent re-education in how to operate the machine. And if there's any missing paperwork, anything that's wrong, where they maybe didn't maintain the machine properly or the person's training expired. I had that case a little while back where the officer's training had expired. It's good for the year in which he got the training and 2 years after that. Well, it expired and he didn't re-up, and the reading got thrown out. So there's all sorts of paperwork and defenses that may arise out of the maintenance and operation of the alcotester that could lead to that reading being thrown out. So be aware that here in New Jersey, there are defenses to a drunk driving charge, and that if you've been ticketed with drunk driving here in Southern New Jersey, feel free to give my office a call. We'll set up an appointment for you to come in, take a look at your case, and see whether there's a basis to fight the charges and help you avoid a drunk driving conviction here in New Jersey.